September starts with two remarkable tendencies, first running parallel with each other, and then the one yielding to the dominance of the other from mid-month onward. The first 2 weeks are looking to be an excellent and auspicious time for getting busy and accomplishing things, and for organized and healthy routines once again. As a bonus, to reap and enjoy the rewards of our labors is well supported. The overall energetic signature of this period is similar to life picking up tempo in mid-August, but even more so in the sense that our feeling productive will likely bring a taste of unabashed success and self-confidence with it too. From mid-September, themes that pertain to human relationships, social circles and connections will cast a shadow on this in the good old ways. What we mean by this is that wherever there are at least two involved, dualism and opposition also may occur. To notice two instead of oneness and a sense of belonging is the old way of relating. After what we have been through alone and collectively during the COVID-19 global pandemic, it is only natural that we want to wake up from our sense of isolation and social slumber and return to each other. The catch is that we are trying to do this in the old ways. On the one hand, we are operating on the principle that we want to belong, but in the meantime, we still play the same old game of push me pull you. In the first half of the month, this will be less noticeable, latent, but in gray tones and in the background. We will go about our business and feel good about it until something happens and human interactions or relationship troubles disturb the peace. The tension will be a lot more obvious after the first 2 weeks of September and may even take over. Help will be on its way, but not in active ways until towards the very end of the month. Eventually, the trials and tribulations we have been through may well bring a fresh sense of strength and resilience, and new perspectives in all things pertaining to human relationships and connections. The period between Wednesday, September 1st and Thursday, September 9th is an excellent time to catch up on unfinished projects and help us build onto the foundations we may have started in the post-pandemic world. As a continuation to what we have done to bring back civility, meaningful routines, and self-regulation, we have the support of the universe at this time to find our way back to a more active, more productive rhythm in our everyday life after a quieter, more restful late August. Put another way, seeds planted early that month may come to fruition in the first days of September. Overall, this is a well-supported, beneficial, and highly productive time in many regards. Between Wednesday, September 1st and Friday, September 10th, another aspect will remind us of the importance to remain active and conscientious. While it is highly encouraged that we reap and also enjoy the benefits of our labor, it is best to refrain from going too far in the direction of gorging on the harvest and sinking back into a state of laziness or indolence. It is best to navigate early September with a healthy attitude towards busyness and active engagement. The square between Venus in Libra and retrograde Pluto in Capricorn within this period also puts into perspective things that are well hidden in romantic relationships. Some deeper issues with your partner may be stirred, and this flux could bring to the surface and highlight what has been suppressed. Human relationships in general are likely to encounter turbulence, and you may find yourself confused or unreasonably troubled. Strange dreams, jealousy, or weird misunderstandings may also occur, as well as conflicts of any kind including quarrels and fights. In the first week of September, therefore, it is best to keep a low profile and focus on the task at hand, on your job or what you are doing for work. Like a humble and diligent monk or servant, tend to the garden, mend what needs fixing, and it may not even hurt to take a vow of silence and retreat from intimacy for the duration of this flux. Between Wednesday, September 1st and Friday, September 10th, significant help and support is provided by the great benefactor planet, sending the cavalry riding in just when it's needed most. Exactly when Venus is stuck with the troubling effects of her square with Pluto bringing to the surface what has been lurking underneath in romantic relationships, she also enters a trine with Jupiter within the same time frame. The trine is the most abundantly positive and supportive aspect between two planets, and this one finds Venus in her home, and Jupiter in the zodiacal realm of crisp and clear Aquarius, also associated with future perspectives. This is excellent news and will likely help settle any confusion or conflict that might occur in short order. It is also an auspicious flux for providing alternatives and to guide our focus onto productive, meaningful or simple things to do while relationship trouble may be happening. Between Thursday, September 2nd and Sunday, September 12th, yet another aspect provides a backbone or structure inside possible calamities. Uranus and the Sun's trine in their respective signs speaks of constructive, productive and dedicated qualities at this time. This constellation is auspicious for coming up with new ideas, building on already existing project foundations, and for anything that requires organization. After the first laborious days of early September, when diligence and a hard-working attitude is well supported by planetary fluxes, eventually, we may even feel a bit run down. Know that should you feel this way, it is only natural. Between Thursday, September 9th and Sunday, September 19th, two energetic influences are active that are each other's opposite in their qualities. One is all about valuing the mundane and routine functions of everyday life, keeping us busy, and the other is a sleepy, downward-pulling energy that has a spellbinding effect. The whole scenario is very similar to the first few weeks of August, when we had cosmic support to keep us active, while at the same time some fluxes also caused drifting or drowsiness. A feeling of déjà vu or early August replay is to be expected within this period, with the slight difference that other planetary aspects in effect will likely make us feel more productive or successful at this time. Between Thursday, September 9th and Tuesday, September 14th, Mercury, ruler of communication, thinking and everyday routines, will travel without any fluxes. Planets get plugged into the system, so to speak, according to the fluxes they are affected by. When they are without any, their influence and areas they govern tend to function less well on the collective level. It is as if for the duration when a planet has no aspects, it stops playing its role. In Mercury's case, what this means at this particular time is to keep the focus on getting done what you can on your own. Team efforts, collaborative work and cooperation are less supported, but because Mercury is in Libra, it is friendly territory. The whole experience is not likely to have any malicious effect or lasting consequences. On Friday, September 10th, Venus and the Moon, both pertaining to the feminine, feeling sides of humanity and governing intimacy and connection, will be conjunct on the border between Libra and Scorpio. This is by far the most erotically charged, steamy area of the zodiac. That the Moon and Venus will join forces here for a day could lead to scenarios we have seen in movies such as 50 Shades of Grey. Passion will rise, breathtaking rendezvous may happen, followed by an unforgettable night on this Friday. One outcome to be aware of is that things may go into the extreme, leaving behind a sensation that sounds like this: it is only good if it really hurts, and if it hurts, it must have been really good. If the circumstances and inclinations allow, it is best to take advantage of the erotic charge imminent at this time, but without pushing its energy to the extreme. Approached as such, this day could be a goldmine of eye-opening discoveries and experiences. The high charge of Friday, September 10th, is also a grand opening to a month-long period, featuring Venus. The planet governing social connections, graceful interactions and romantic relationships will enter Scorpio, and remain there from Saturday, September 11th until Friday, October 8th. The same day Venus enters the sign, the Moon also follows, which makes it highly likely that an otherwise active, focused and diligent mid-month will also find us hitting some relationship turbulence once again. Scorpio is a steamy energetic realm in the zodiac where great polarities and extremes are at play. With Venus here, relationships often become saturated with residual energies from past lives or former relationships, and everything that is suppressed in current romantic partnerships also tends to rise to the surface. Overall, Venus in Scorpio usually leads to scenarios or events that are rather intense and cover a wide spectrum of emotions. In the bodice anatomy, Venus rules the kidneys and urinary tract, the skin and external sexual organs, while the reproductive system in general belongs under Scorpio's governance. In the month ahead, therefore, it is best to pay attention to the most optimal health and hygiene of these areas, as the risk of anomalies is heightened during this period. Spend as much time as you can outside in the fresh air and drink plenty of fresh water, as these simple practices will reduce the risk of acidosis and inflammations. Between Sunday, September 12th and Wednesday, September 22nd, the aspect between the Sun in Virgo and retrograde Pluto in Capricorn will provide a very productive and tenacious flux amidst the obscurities. Their trine will be a big help in resolving ongoing problems, and also with the start and completion of projects we have been thinking of or keep delaying. The road may not be fully open, but any blocks or conflicts may more easily dissolve due in large part to this flux's beneficial qualities. Between Monday, September 13th and Tuesday, September 21st, Venus, the planet of graceful human connections, social interaction, and balance and harmony, will be further tested by exposed karmic blocks and residual past events in already challenging, intense Scorpio. We may find that in our personal and close relationships we feel distant and cold, withdrawing our emotions and compassion from our loved ones. Given sufficient awareness and preparedness, however, we may see through the absurdity or anomaly of any conflict that could arise seemingly out of nowhere. It is possible that you might want to rise above or resolve these conflicts through rationality. Rather than doing that and struggling with the emotional consequences, be on your guard for feeling challenged, and when you do, find focus in some meaningful activity. A practical channeling of energies versus giving into emotional drama will be an important message to heed throughout the entire month of September. From Wednesday, September 15th, for a lengthy stretch, another effect will be active, and will contribute to troubles likely to occur in relationships and in human and social interactions. The planet Mars, which governs ego, individual strength, and the fighting, ambitious sides of our nature, enters Libra, and will stay there until October 30th. Libra is a very cultured, graceful, and harmonious realm in the zodiac, and its qualities are diametrically opposed to those of Mars. Plenty of evidence suggests that when Mars enters Libra, social tension tends to be on the rise, genders clash, and there is an overall sense of unrest in the air, both at the personal and at the collective levels. Especially since 2017 and 2018, these and similar scenarios seem to be the precedent. The news and media sources tend to carry these anomalies even further, giving them a spotlight, often taking matters to the extreme. One thing we can and may well have to do is to stay focused on the task at hand, refraining from feeding the intensity. These 6 weeks could be a real challenge, yet with awareness, careful navigation will get you through. From Wednesday, September 15th until Thursday, October 7th, Mercury, the planet that governs communication and thinking, will be exposed to somewhat heated, ascorbic, and even inflamed energetics in the flux it enters with retrograde Pluto in Capricorn. Mercury is currently in Libra, and in such a function, also governs how we interact with each other. Its square with Pluto, however, might further complicate relationship issues and social exchanges to the detriment of ease, skill, and graceful balance. We have already heard about residual past life energetics resurfacing and getting exposed in this September forecast. Currently suppressed, muted tensions and frustrations similarly may appear. This further corroborates the need to stay alert from mid-September and try to navigate tension and frustration, sure to arise, with skill and awareness. We also must reiterate that keeping to your business and channeling your energy towards work will help with this a great deal. Between Wednesday, September 15th and Saturday, October 9th, much-needed help arrives with Mercury's entering into a trine with the great benefactor planet Jupiter. The trine is the most abundantly providing, optimistic, and beneficial aspect between two planets. This particular constellation will be a huge support in keeping us on track, providing effects like a good word or a willing hand in no matter what needs to be done or managed. Between Sunday, September 19th and Tuesday, September 28th, anything related to romantic relationships and social exchanges may take us even further into the woods, so to speak. Not only have we not gotten out yet, we may feel we have gone deeper inside with our partner, our own personal issues, or even at large as a society, on the level of the collective. Where do we go from here? What is next? These and similar questions are likely to appear during this period, persisting until the month ends. After the first half of September, which is everything going for us in being productive and keeping one foot in front of the other, the second half of the month will energetically slow us down again. Multiple aspects will be at work to bring us to a place of reckoning with our relationships, social roles, and connections. They may even have a qualitatively distractive effect, claiming our full attention away from work, and onto who and what we are as social beings in various relationships. As it turns out, the universe always has our back in some way amidst the greatest challenges, and the aspect between Mars and Saturn in the last third of the month is no exception. Between Sunday, September 19th and Sunday, October 3rd, their trine will provide ample focus and strength to persevere. The nature and potential of this flux is similar to the earlier council, that encourages staying busy and keeping to our work-related business when the boat of human relationships is rocking. Where it is different is that this flux asks us to make an effort in avoiding relationship drama rather than using work as a healthy source of distraction. At this stage, avoidance of conflict and friction may no longer be an option. Yet, because resolutions may also be difficult, considering the nature of the ongoing challenging fluxes, we might have to use conscious force and strong judgment in cutting through the drama. Temporarily placing what is unresolved on the back burner is another way of putting what it may take to stay focused and get things done. Between Wednesday, September 22nd and Saturday, October 23rd, this favorable attitude will officially become the norm and lead the way when the Sun and Mars join forces in the most productive, most sophisticated area of the zodiac. Early in September, a more humble, quieter but productive modus operandi was required of us. We were best served by keeping a low profile and just carrying on. The Sun and Mars conjunction, however, will now invite us, and even make it imperative to step on the stage and finally show up as we truly are. This moment is like when in Matrix the movie, Neo is peppered by 1,000 bullets in one of the last scenes. Yet rather than falling or running away, he now actively turns and faces them, and calmly but firmly says, "Not this time." With these words, the spell is broken, and he is free to do and live at a much higher level of potential than ever before. Expect a similar scenario towards the end of the month during this constellation. On Thursday, September 23rd, the Sun enters Libra. The significance of this event is that it will add an elegant and graceful touch to the loaded energetic atmosphere, and before things get too inflamed or feisty, it will seem easier to restore a sense of much-needed balance. The Sun is the center of our solar system, and Libra is probably the most harmonious, most sophisticated and attractive realm of the zodiac. On the collective level, the Sun's transit here will help with finding resolutions, compromises, and bringing an overall more uplifting and cultured sense of existence amongst the calamities. Between Saturday, September 25th and Monday, October 4th, tormented and inflamed Venus throughout almost the entire month will finally start receiving healing energies. The planet will enter into trine with Neptune, the great healer planet. Their flux is one of abundance, faith, future perspectives, and limitless support. Towards the end of the month, this will likely bring a much-needed calming, recalibrating effect into relationships of all kinds. If any areas of the body governed by Venus, such as the skin, urinary tract, or reproductive organs, were negatively affected, the end of the month will bring healing there as well. Within the same timeframe to the exact days, another beneficial aspect will actively help with finding focus and cooling the relationship engines that have been revved up towards mid-month. Between Saturday, September 25th and Monday, October 4th, the Sun in Libra will enter into a trine with retrograde Saturn in Aquarius, bringing back a sense of balance where human, social, or romantic affairs may have become derailed. This is also a prompt towards starting to bury the battle axe and to initiate negotiations of peace in any situation that calls for it. Between Sunday, September 26th and Tuesday, October 5th, another difficult aspect may disturb the process, and at the least make quick and easy progress in restoring balance and peace unlikely. The square between Venus and Jupiter is a frustrating and challenging flux. It will likely further inflame and confuse Venus, especially coming from the great benefactor planet Jupiter. Within this period, it is best to make an honest effort and keep rebuilding what has been damaged in relationships, but without a sense of hurry. Rather, make things gradual and expect that any intent to bring back a sense of normalcy or acting like nothing ever happened may be thwarted. On Monday, September 27th, Mercury turns retrograde in the sign of Libra. Mercury governs thinking, communication, and everyday routines, this time around reversing its course in the zodiacal sign most associated with romantic relationships, human affairs, and graceful social interaction. Whenever Mercury is retrograde, we usually have to prepare for roadblocks in communication, unexpected breakdowns, and an overall slowing effect until the planet turns direct again. In addition, things may get more complicated, there is a greater chance for misunderstandings, it may take longer to understand or organize something within this period, and it is not unusual to have to take extra effort and several tries to finish a task. Mercury's overall energetic signature tends to be neutral, with a tendency towards positive inclinations. The retrograde phase of this particular planet is really not an event to be overly concerned about. Especially in Libra, where Mercury is exalted. In the grand scheme of things, that it will stay in Libra for an extended amount of time before entering Scorpio may be just the blessing in disguise we all needed. The extra length in the sign, however, and the retrograde motion, puts the spotlight on human affairs and relationships with greater force. After deeper and more existential issues have been the focus for the larger part of the year, the fall, indeed, seems to bring our humanity and connections under scrutiny, both at the personal and on the collective levels. The monthly forecast for August put into perspective a scenario in which the entire month of late summer had the feeling of a returned sense of normalcy for the first time since the COVID crisis took hold. This was true for work and job-related situations, and in a social sense as well. August was predicted to give our lives back to us in ways we have been used to before the pandemic. The month of September will help restore things even more, and keep bringing us back on track. The key issue to reckon with throughout these next few weeks ahead, however, will be to embrace our humanity once again in two aspects, with a greater sense of awareness. On the one hand, what makes us human, and connects us socially is that we show up to our job and do our work. On the other hand, as individual beings, we keep trying to belong to each other in a world divided by polarities and separation. Yet it is impossible to form unity out of duality, which keeps the cycles of peaceful connection turning into conflict, turning into seeking resolution, and back to peace again, as the ongoing experience for most of us. These two aspects of our humanity, doing our work, and ebbing and flowing between peace and conflict, will be recurring motifs throughout September. But since we have gotten slightly out of practice, there may be a theatrical feel to the whole thing, which could also lead to cathartic moments. Be on the lookout for those, and amidst the drama and tears, don't forget to savor the laughter and the lessons as well.